unusual engine signatures out here. Please confirm?
Solaris Tractor, we have your readings. Please hold position.
In winter, we fell upon the stars and sang as one voice. A constellation, an army, a family.
The new war was supposed to be released back in December 2019, but it got delayed because things happened. I did not get a clear grasp of what was the reason behind it, but judging by Digital Extreme's words, it seems like this upcoming update is too massive, and there are tons of things that are needed to be polished first before we could finally get our hands on it. So honestly, how big, or better yet, how good will be the new war update for Warframe? Honestly, this update will either be a make or break for the game, admit it or not. Many Warframe players are longing for a thing they called true content for Warframe. Some players think that most of the updates that have been released lately are lackluster, and they feel like they're just tidbits of a whole big update. But before we go criticize all the updates, hear me out first. What if, just what if, all these little updates are just a glimpse of a big event? What I'm talking about here is the possibility of the final chapter of the new war being so big that 8-10 are needed to finish the mission. Believe me or not, taking out raids, or both the Law of Retribution and Jorda's Verdict trials is one of the biggest mistakes that Digital Extremes have done in Warframe history. Yes, true, they added Eidolon hunts, but it's nowhere as impactful as the raids wherein it brought together a bunch of people. Not just people, but clans are brought together because of the raid system. During my early days, before I get to start my own, I was with a clan who has lots of active members, and there's one thing that I always see in our clan chat: who's up for some trials? The arcanes were the main rewards on trials during these times, and players would always want to dive into raids to either max out their arcanes, or just simply make some profit from it, because at this time, arcanes were very rare and they are sold for some hefty amount of platinum. But rewards were not the only thing that was fun with the raiding system. The actual mission itself is, it brought people together, and I'm kind of missing the old days wherein you can see a bunch of limbos doing the trials, or even some non-meta warframes, and having a good laugh when you succeed or fail miserably. You can do that with Eidolon hunts, but not as good as the raids in my opinion. So, why did I brought out raids in this discussion? Well, there are rumors that raid will come back in Warframe, and I have a strong hunch that if Digital Extremes is doing this, then it would perfectly fit in the new war update. So, what if the final chapter of the new war is a raid? You are out of your mind, squad leader. I think you dropped your brain. Well, I just picked it up earlier. There are glimpses of possible raid resurgence in the game that you might have missed. The first one is the Scarlet Spear event. This event, although was kind of a mess, showed us the potential of a new sentient raid mission. The event featured a 4-man team doing ground assault, and a 4-man team doing the Murex raid. In the future, we could see something similar if they somehow add a raiding system to the new war content. However, I'm hoping that it won't be similar to the Scarlet Spear event though. The uplink feature is kind of gimmicky, and I think it's not even working in my opinion. I'm hoping for something better, that all 8 members of the team will become valuable and not make some just sit in for hours waiting, while the rest are having tons of fun. Based on what we've seen on the new war trailer, it seems like the Sentients are doing a major attack on the Origin system, and more likely, we will be seeing some invasion of Sentients on the open world areas of the game. Most likely, we will be seeing an invasion on Cetus or Fortuna. If this happens, then the 8-man raiding team will be split into 2 groups to defend the town. Cetus will be hoarded not only by Sentients, but they will get help from Eidolons, while the Fortuna team will have to fend off both Sentients and the Orb Mothers. This is stage 1 of the raid. Stage 2 will be in outer space, and we will take our Railjack out to travel to the Sentient base. But before we can do that, we must get past several obstacles. I'm talking not just Sentients, but also the Grineer and Corpus factions. As we all know, these 2 factions are very interested in the power of the Sentients, especially Oladvi, who have submitted to the Sentient to build his amalgam army, and there's Vahek, who also wants to take control of the Sentient power to build more powerful Grineer abominations. You'll battle through all of this chaos, and you will try to destroy every enemy ships that you will encounter, and your team must also fend off every attack inside your Railjack. The 2 team will again be split into 2 groups. The one will take care with Oladvi's amalgam army, while the other one will deal with Vahek's Grineers. The main objective of stage 2 is to search and destroy. Deal with the small ships first, then find both Corpus and Grineer galleons and destroy them. Your objective is to put explosive charges on the ship, and then get out before the timer runs out. Once you are inside each galleon, you will be greeted by each factions. Only this time, the Sentients decide to intervene to halt your advance to their base. It looks like they have taken control of both galleons and managed to disable your Warframes. This time, you'll have to face them with your old relics, the Corn Bots. This will be like Operation or Fix Venom again. But wait, you won't get out on this ship that easily. To make things more complicated, both Vahek and Oladvi will have one last dance with the Tenno. Kill them before the timer runs out and blow you up along with the galleons. Stage 3 is where you travel to the core of the Sentients, the Tau system where the Sentients resides, and where the final battle of the new war finally begins. In this area you will face off with tons of sentient enemies, from old Sentients to newer variants. There will also be mini-boss fights before you can get to the main goal, and that is either slaying the Lotus, or saving her. Yes, the final boss fight is the transformed Lotus, called Nata, and to make things a bit exciting, she will be accompanied by her brother Era. This will be the biggest boss fight in Warframe, and the only way to take them down is bypassing various puzzles, coordination with the team, and with some sentient slayer loudouts. And yes, you will need the Parasus to deal the final blow to both Natu and Era. Now let's talk about rewards. We are talking about new sentient cosmetics that are only obtainable from raids, new sentient weapons, new Cornboth mods, new Railjack mods, and even Umbral Former. There's also a special achievement that you can display in your in-game name for completing the raid mission. I know this is just a simple idea on how the new raid, if it's coming back, will work, but honestly, I think the new war is the best time for the raiding system to make a comeback. One reason is that it's the most anticipated content for Warframe. There are tons of content already targeted for newer player base, but if Digital Extremes really want to keep this game going, then they also have to cater to the needs of those veteran players. And raid is one way of keeping those old players coming back, not because of the rewards, but because they can hang out with their friends and do something stupid or fun within the raid. In addition, Digital Extremes officially announced that they are now owned by one of the biggest gaming company, Tencent. They have no more excuse for doing big content updates since they can acquire money to gather resources and people to help them out. Because believe it or not, it seems like the developer is falling out of ideas at the moment, and getting help from others is not a bad idea at all. Also, I have been informed that some people in Digital Extremes are still talking about trades in the game, so it's possible that they could revive this game mode again, provided that they now have enough resources to do so. Let me know what are your thoughts about this video. if the new war will feature a big raid, will you be coming back to Warframe? Also, I would like to hear some ideas on how would you think the new raiding system will play out if it comes back. Share your thoughts on the comment box below, as I'll be waiting and reading them, and probably, I will respond to each relevant comment you have. Thank you all for watching. Also, I would like to thank all who have wished for a speedy recovery for my kids. They are all well now, and it was just the flu. Thank you so much again. And for those asking how old I am, well, I'm old enough to have 2 kids. Squad leader signing off.
Who destroyed the Organ? Your way of life. Whom do you hunt, Shadow, to cleanse your despair in their blood? Sever their heads, yet they rise again. Someone has hidden the Tenno essence, their truth, from you. Loudest. I know where she hides the Tenno heart. A womb in the sky, forbidden to my kind, but where you will take me. I am Untitled, sentient destroyer of worlds. By your hand, expose their heart. By my edge, cleave it beating from its nest.
This is the future. Human error. Evolution. This is the future.